The death toll is increasing tonight in Southern California. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Thomas.
I'm Laura Painter. We're learning now at least 11 people are confirmed dead. 5 separate wildfires rage across Los Angeles right now. At least 180,000 people have been forced to evacuate as the fires have scorched a combined 35,000 acres. The death toll is expected to rise. ABC's Alex Stone is in Altadena tonight.
He's live with more on the firefight and the absolute devastation left behind. Alex, so many people have just lost everything.
They have lost everything, Chris and Lauren. In fact, just a moment ago, there was a family that somehow got in beyond the roadblock, and they came by quite emotional. They just looked at their childhood home down this street. Everything on this street completely gone. These homes, there is nothing left. There's a basketball hoop there, but cars burned out. Just nothing left in these homes as firefighters are trying to put out the flames.
National Guard troops now patrolling the streets in Los Angeles to help enforce evacuation orders. A 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew for the Eaton Fire and Palisades Fire areas to prevent looting as the city deals with catastrophic wildfires.
We're not doing this to inconvenience anybody. We're doing it to protect the structures, the houses that people have left.
The fires, which have devastated Los Angeles neighborhoods on the east and west sides of the city, have destroyed over 10,000 buildings, with those figures expected to grow.
We found out through word of mouth yesterday, confirmed from our neighbors that hiked in, that our house was gone.
The Palisades Fire between Santa Monica and Malibu on the city's west side and the Eaton Fire in the east near Pasadena already rank as the most destructive in Los Angeles history. They've consumed over 53 square miles and turned entire neighborhoods to ash. The winds, with gusts up to 100 miles an hour earlier this week, have died down.
Due to the favorable overnight weather conditions, we can report that the Palisades Fire is now 8% contained. The Kenneth Fire. Forward progress has been stopped with 35% containment at 1,000 acres.
In Washington, President Biden pledging to pay for 100% of the state's immediate costs for the next 180 days.
The scope, the scale, and the erratic movements of these fires is truly unprecedented.
Firefighters are gaining some containment now, a minimal amount, but some containment, and they did have progress on this fire, the Eaton Fire today, and in less than an hour from right now, the red flag fire warning is finally going to expire after so many days. They will get a bit of a break, but unfortunately, come late this weekend into early next week, another round of Santa Ana winds are going to come in. Live in Altadena, I'm Alex Stone, ABC 10. Back to you.
Well, it is really good to hear they're getting a better hold on these fires. Alex, really still a long and painful road to recovery and rebuilding. Alex Stone, be safe, and thank you for the live update.
Well, the smoke and chemicals from the wildfires are leading to dangerous air quality. And with that in mind, today the Health and Human Services Secretary declared a public health emergency in California to try and tackle the health impacts. The declaration gives healthcare providers more flexibility to respond.
Governor Gavin Newsom today ordered an investigation into problems with water pressure local firefighters faced as they tried to fight the Palisades Fire. It's part of a bigger debate over water supplies during massive wildfires like those in Southern California, including the use of fire hydrants. Now, ABC 10's Roxanne Elias took some of those questions about fire hydrants to local fire officials. Roxanne, how are they responding tonight?
Well, Laura, the truth is there's so much more to these fire hydrants here. We've been learning about them all day long. And the reality is there's more to it than just hooking up a hose here and having an endless supply of water.
You're going to see a color change in the water. So typically it's going to come out kind of rusty brown.
Following the wildfires in Southern California, many have questioned how fire hydrants actually work. David Acuna, a battalion chief with CAL FIRE, says it depends on its water source.
Fire hydrants have to have a source. In some cases, it's an underground source. Sometimes it's a water treatment plant, and sometimes it's a tank. My understanding is up in the Pacific Palisades area, they have tanks.
Acuna says when the water comes down, it's either pressurized or gravity fed, which means it's up on a hill. But because the water supply in the LA area is held in tanks, the water supply is limited. And they're only designed to fight a fire at a couple of homes, not an entire wildfire.
It's a finite resource. So although, 1 million gallons is a lot of water, if you divide 1 million gallons by 5,000 homes, all using water at 250 gallons a minute, that's well over the capacity of that tank.
And it takes time for those pumps to refill, making it not readily available. Here at home, Captain Justin Sylvia with the Sacramento Fire Department says the city's water source for fire hydrants is different.
Our water is pumped through all of the city resources around, all the water treatment plants. Those are what's going to start taking water from the river systems and putting it into the domestic lines for these fire hydrants.
Fire hydrants are color-coded depending on how much water they can produce. Red is 500 gallons per minute or less. Orange means 101 gallons, up to 1,000 gallons per minute.
Our hydrant system's very well maintained. We pretty much have endless water with our river systems and our water treatment plants that flow this water through the system.
CAL FIRE says another thing to consider is a lot of these water lines were exposed when these homes burned down, making it easier for water to leak out and harder for these tanks to retain that water. I'm live in Sacramento. Roxanne Elias, ABC 10.
Roxanne, very informative, I have to say, very detailed, and a great explainer on the inner workings of these life-saving tools. Roxanne Elias, thank you.
The ABC 10 Weather Impact Team is tracking conditions tonight. And Carly, thankfully, this red flag warning is about to come to an end.
That's right. We're now looking at current humidity levels, still very bad, very bone dry out there. 12%, as you can see in Van Nuys, all the way to Camarillo and Oxnard, about 30%, 50% around Santa Monica, and that's the best they can get at this point. Areas around Palisades looking at around 30% relative humidity. Still looking at some gusty conditions right now. As I just checked current observations, about 20 to 28 mile per hour wind gusts around Palisades and Malibu. And they're going to see things slowing down later on tonight. As you look at 10 p.m., we're looking at about 3 to 5 mile per hour winds. This is going to be the nice calm time that firefighters get before we see winds picking right back up again. As we take a look into Saturday morning, 10 a.m., here they come, moving right down the mountainside just toward Calabasas, as well as Palisades and Thousand Oaks. Once again, they're going to have to battle these flames for a lot of areas that may not be recovered just yet. This is another fight to contain those flames from 10 a.m. on Saturday until Sunday, when the strongest wind gusts are set to arrive just after midnight on Sunday morning. As you can see, Santa Clarita all the way down. I mean, these are intense gusts once again for firefighters. The smoke's out to sea, but we can expect that to continue shifting its way on down south along the really the beach side there all the way to San Diego. Some of that air quality continues to be bad. We'll keep you updated on the latest in Southern California and the big changes we have for ourselves with those winds coming up.
Okay, Carly, thank you. Also coming up tonight on ABC 10, David Muir will have a special 1-hour edition of 2020 with continuing coverage of the deadly California fires. Watch American Catastrophe, LA Burning, a special edition of 2020 airing tonight at 9 p.m. right here on ABC 10. And keep in mind, for continued coverage of the wildfires, head over to ABC 10 Plus and the ABC 10 Plus streaming app on TV. We have live updates and news conferences as they happen. Download the free ABC 10 Plus app wherever you stream.